talk till they tell me. Get in more trouble. Okay, hi. My name is Barbara Hawk, and I'm a member of the Borough of Laurel Springs 2013 Centennial Committee. Today we have the privilege of interviewing Belton Chip Lanning, who was born and raised in Laurel Springs. And could you just state your name and your address? That'll be fine, and continue on. Yes.
My name is Clement Belton Lanning. I was born in Laurel Springs, and I lived on Stone Road. Now I'm a resident living on Hemlock Avenue, 115 Hemlock Avenue.
And your parents' names?
My parents' name, my mother was Christine. My father, I'm a junior.
You're
so
a junior?
He had the same name as I have.
Mm-hmm. And you had no siblings?
No.
You're the
I'm
only
the only
child?
one. Yep.
What are your earliest memories of growing up in Laurel Springs?
Well, I had a lot of things. One of the things I remember is at the end of, right down here by the corner, on the corner, were two maiden ladies. Their name were Fearbrucker. And they had connections with people in Florida. And they used to send them once a month fruit, a crate. So my Uncle Rook, he used to take me with him. We'd get down to the station, meet the train.
Oh, man.
They would unload the fruit on the platform, and then we would bring her fruit down to her house, the crate, the crate that they sent up from Florida. They did that every month, kept them in fruit.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're finding out how much the train was an integral part of Laurel Springs. How much, everybody has something about the train, when they were growing up to remember.
Well, one interesting thing about it, one year the church decided that they were going to have a summer vacation at the shore. So they made arrangements with a train company, and they stopped and had a car just arranged for us. And we all got on the car and rode to Wildwood.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was years ago. Yeah.
Like what? Like what year?
Oh, golly. I was a kid then. Probably 80 years ago.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yep.
And what did your father do? What was your father's occupation?
My father was a painter and interior decorator. And he did a lot of work in Catholic churches on the altars. He did the gold, well, it was gold leaf in those days. They didn't have gold paint. You put a coating on it first, and then you threw the gold on there, and then you had to dust it off and all. He did that. And then the town used to have a standpipe. I don't know whether you remember that.
No.
A water pipe over near where the movies used to be.
Okay.
There's a vacant lot there on the corner. That's where the standpipe was. And my father was hired to paint that. And he did it with a bosun's chair. They hooked it on the top, and he went up and started at the top, and he'd paint around as he could reach, go around and paint. Then he would lower himself down to the next level and paint it, and that's the way he painted it. That was quite a project. Yeah.
And were you born in Laurel Springs?
Yep.
Yeah. At home?
Yep.
Okay. On Stone Road, right?
On Stone Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure that I had that, yeah.
Yeah, hospitals weren't too prominent.
No. And your mom used to bake?
Yeah, My mother and grandmother used to bake. My grandmother was famous for cinnamon buns. She had a good recipe for that, and a lot of people liked them. So when things got tough around the Depression years and all, she used to bake cinnamon buns, and my uncle and I, we'd go out on Saturday morning after she baked them, and we'd deliver them to people that ordered them.
Very nice. In a wagon, right?
Yeah, express wagon, and we'd put them all in.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, really, yes. Like, who were your neighbors? Do you remember any of your neighbors?
Yeah, well, my aunt lived next door on one side, and on the other side, people by the name of Hammond. And he was a minister here at one time.
Oh.
Yeah, Reverend Hammond. And they lived on the other side of us. And Mrs. Hammond's father lived with them, and they were great friends with my grandfather. And they'd come over to visit my grandfather. Her father would come over and visit my grandfather, and they'd sit in the kitchen and they'd drink their beer and have their conversations.
Now, did your grandfather live next door or with you?
With us.
With you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We lived with him.
You lived with him. Okay. And how about, what grade did you enter school in Laurel Springs?
Right in the beginning.
First grade?
Yeah,
because they said, everybody says we didn't have kindergarten then. We only went right to first grade.
I didn't,
yes.
Yeah, went right to first grade. Yeah. And oddly enough, I went to school in Lindenwold.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't go to Laurel Springs because where our house is, it's the second house in Lindenwold. The dividing line just put us on the other side of Laurel Springs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I went to the school. It was tore down on the pike there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I went to grammar school.
And how about your class? Anything about your teachers, your class? Yeah.
I remember our first grade teacher. Her name is Mrs. Castor, and she was a great woman. You thought your mother was teaching you. I mean, she was very personal, you know. And I always remember that lady. And the woman that was the principal, it was a lady principal. I can't think of her name, but she was nice too.
But that was in Lindenwold, so you didn't do any school in
Lindenwold.
Laurel Springs at all?
No.
What high school did you go to?
Haddon Heights.
Haddon Heights. Yeah, a lot of people. We had a choice then, I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about the business section of town? Downtown here? Yeah.
Well, I remember the old grocery store and the butcher shop. I'm trying to think of what store that would be now. I guess, well, that's a grocery store now, isn't it?
Yeah, the deli?
Yeah.
Right, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It was in there. And that was nice. They had a nice store there. And the newspaper store was there.
Oh.
And the shoe shop.
Right, Maloney's. Right, Maloney's, yeah.
Yeah, they were all there. But
And the movies?
That came later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did you help with the cow in the movie? No.
And there used to be a drugstore alongside of the movie.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yeah.
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 Which I never knew we had one until I started these interviews. Yeah, right. And anything about the White Horse Pike area that you remember or had any memories of? Yeah. When you moved to Hemlock, I guess, yeah.
Over here on the Pike, where the entrance to the apartments are, I forget the name of them, but that used to be an open field, a meadow. And one time an airplane lost its power, and the thing made a forced landing in that meadow.
Goodness. Oh.
Yeah, and that was the big news.
Oh, yes.
That was big news, I'd say. People from all over came to see the airplane that landed in the meadow.
Right, right, uh-huh.
That was fun, yeah.
That was was good, yeah.
And the movie, there was a funny incident with the movie. When the movie, after the movie was there for a while, one evening, a bunch of the fellas got together. Ralph Townsend, he kind of headed up the idea.
He did? Oh, okay.
I don't know where they went, but they got a cow. and they brought the cow into the movie.
That story has been going on in every interview. It's pretty
Has it?
cool. Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
I even got a picture of the bad boys that helped with the cow. Well, Sam Reiner, they said, was one of them also.
Probably
Sam,
was.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Al Stack was another one. Yeah, that was involved, yeah. Somebody just gave me a picture of some of the bad, well, they were the ones that, you know, kept things going, yeah. But that's, oh, gee, Ralph Townsend. See, they couldn't remember his last name, and I just saw a picture of him, and I didn't realize it was Ralph, yeah. And what church did you go to?
I grew up in the Baptist church. That's where I was. I have a lot of memories with that. Matter of fact, it had no basement in the early days, so I helped dig out the basement. We dug it out by hand. And before that was dug out, I guess you'd call me the sexton, I don't know. But I used to build, they had a pipe of cedar in here. And I used to come over like 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes when it was real cold and get down in the basement and build a fire, and the fire was here. And I was scared to death a lot of times because you hear funny noises, the building cracking, and here you are, a couple of light bulbs hanging here and there to light the place.
Right.
And we dug that out by hand, a lot of it. And we threw it out in the back there where the car's parked now. Took the dirt out with a wheelbarrow and threw it out there. That was the job, going up the hill and getting out there. You know?
Oh, definitely. Oh, my goodness. But then they always had heat, yeah.
Yeah.
And how old were you then when you did this? Like about?
I guess about 12 or 14 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You were young.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the projects they wanted to have. George Frederick was here then at that time.
Was he?
Ah. Yeah, he worked on it. Yeah.
Then when did we get a basement?
Oh, it was several years after that, and they hired a contractor to build a real basement. So he dug out what we didn't get dug out, and then it was a flagstone basement. I mean, the foundation was flagstone and all, and they re-cemented all that and made sure that was good and everything. And then they poured a floor on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. And so it was quite a project.
And then what other projects did you do in our church?
Oh, we did a lot of things. Let's see, what else did we do?
The stained glass?
Yeah. We had the stained glass windows, and they were getting, so they needed repairs. So I volunteered that I'd do what repair work I could do. So you had to re-lead the joints in the windows. So I got up on a ladder and started at the top and re-leaded it. And after we got it all re-leaded, we washed it, sponged it all down, and cleaned all the glass.
Oh my goodness.
Down. I think it's only been cleaned maybe one time since then. I don't remember anybody cleaning it, but yeah.
Oh, God, my foot. Go ahead. Yes. Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
And what's something about a lumber yard?
Yeah.
Oh, in town, like some
where
other...
Stone Road goes out at the White Horse Pike by the funeral home there.
Right.
On the corner there. It's vacant now. It used to be a gas station there.
Oh, okay.
But before that, there was a lumber yard there.
Oh, God, I never even knew
And
that.
that was there for quite a few years. An old gent run it. And yeah, that seemed to be going pretty good. But then, of course, everything got more modern, and lumber yards got opened around here, the Clement and all that. And he went out of business. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think that nobody's ever mentioned that about a lumber yard. Yeah, I
That
never
was
even
nice.
knew. Yeah.
If you wanted to build something or anything, you just go down in the corner there and get your lumber.
Now it's Bill. I'm going to kill our kids, right? Sorry about that. Yeah. Let's see. Like, what did you were you involved in any other organizations? And when did you become our choir director at Laurel Springs Baptist? Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I came to the church as choir director when Reverend, let me think of his name, the young fella. He was related, well, he was related to Catherine Meyer at the time. He married Catherine's cousin or something, I think it was.
Oh,
And
yeah. Oh, okay. Gregory?
but the choir started when he came. He called me up, and he came around the house and asked me if I would.
Gregory?
Gregory, no,
No.
not Gregory.
Ward? God, we had so many.
No, before them.
Before them, okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you've been here. How many years have you been the choir director?
60-some. Yeah. And at first it was all ladies,
Oh, okay.
and then we finally got some men, and the choir loft was over in the corner here, if you remember.
Right.
Curved
Yeah,
thing.
because I was 16, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Yep.
And like, yeah.
Yeah. And then we got real good. We put a sound system in it. The belfry played the music and all out of the belfry. That's still there, but we don't use it anymore. But that was nice. That was a good addition.
Yes.
And of course, when the church got renovated, we added to it and turned it around this way instead of this way. I guess you remember that, don't
Yeah,
you?
because I got married when it was the other way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you have any childhood friends or memories with your childhood friends?
I didn't have too many. We had a lot of fellas played ball while we get down and play ball, and that was down Stafford Avenue. The field was open down there, and one of my boyfriends lived on right at the end of the ball field, and we'd get down there and play ball. And we used to mow the field ourselves. You know, it was a regular field.
Oh, okay.
And we'd take lawnmowers down in the spring, and we'd mow the field and all, and we'd play ball down there. And that was nice. We had a good time doing that.
Yeah, so that was like one of your major activities
Yeah.
you did for play.
Yeah. And then across the street, down a little further, was the regular ball field that they finally used it
Oh, okay.
for the YMCA.
YMCA?
Took
Oh,
it over,
okay.
I think.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's see, were you involved in any other groups besides church? Yeah.
No, I never got involved in civic activity
Yeah.
much. Mostly church
Oh, that's right.
activity.
But you were on the school board.
Yeah, I was on the school board for a couple terms, I guess
Yes.
it was. Yeah.
Right. When they all used to go to Collingswood, and then they voted to go to Sterling.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about 4th of July celebrations? Did you go to the 4th of July celebrations? Or?
Oh, yeah.
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 What, do you have any memories of them?
Yeah. Yeah, they were nice. The fireworks.
Yeah, see, now we don't have fireworks. Then we did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they were nice.
Any favorite town memory or anything at the lake?
Oh yeah, that was the center of activity in the wintertime, because it was colder then, and the winter seemed to be colder.
Right, right.
And the lake would freeze. The water was cleaner. It wasn't contaminated like it is now. Now it don't freeze hardly. But at that time it froze good and solid. And they skated on it a lot. And they'd build a bonfire on the side of the lake. And everybody would get down with their skates, put their skates on. When they got tired skating, they'd come off and they'd sit by the fire, and some of them would bring something to eat, or marshmallows or something to the fire. You would eat and warm from the fire. It was nice.
It was, yeah. It was. It was good memories, yeah. And you had one daughter?
One daughter.
And your wife's name is?
Eleanor.
And how many years have you been married?
63.
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. And you're in good health.
So far.
Any other memories like?
Well, other thing, yeah. I don't know whether it's still there or not. They had a footbridge across the lake.
Right.
I don't know whether it's still there.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And also, down the, I'm trying to think of the name of the street, where the
Maple.
The one where the Walt Whitman house is on.
Oh, Maple.
Maple.
Mm-hmm.
There was a wooden bridge that went over the railroad tracks there.
Oh, really?
That cars could drive over. And that was there for years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. It was like a 3-level thing. You go up, and then they leveled off across the railroad tracks, and I went down on the other side. Yeah. When we were kids, when a train would be coming, we'd all run up on the bridge because the train would be puffing, and all the smoke would be coming up. And you go up on the bridge and you stand there and all the smoke come up around you. It's like you were in a cloud. We thought that was great.
You're not kidding, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now, I never heard about that bridge.
Didn't you hear about the bridge?
No.
Yeah. I don't know what year they tore it down, but they finally tore it down.
And what streets was it at? You know, what streets did it go over? From what street to, from one side of East Atlantic to West, but.
Well.
Maple too? Was that at Maple, at the end of Maple?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the street is on the other side.
Well, it's East and West Maple.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where it was.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know whether there's any remnants around from that or not.
Or if we even have any pictures, you know.
No.
I don't. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll have to look that up, see if we have any pictures, yeah.
They would go over it with a car, and it was rumble, you know, all the boards.
That's the good part. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, not many cars that used it that I noticed when I was around, but it might have been used a lot in the beginning, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was nice.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fire departments, we had fire departments, 2 of them, one on each side of town then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, my grandfather belonged to the one on this side.
Uh-huh.
The one down the other side, that came in afterwards. I think that was the second one, was the one on that, when Laurel Stone
Road.
Road.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that was built after the one on
Thomason?
Thomason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the one on Thomason was the original, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
And your grandfather belonged to the fire company?
Yeah. 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 And there used to be a bell on it. They'd ring the bell when.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And he'd hear the bell, and man, he'd get his clothes on and run down the fire pole. Yeah, Yeah.
And what kind of, were they just brush fires, or did we have a house fire or anything that you remember?
Yeah, they had some house
Did
fires.
they? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of them, I think, were little, like you say, brush fires or something like
Or
that.
a kitchen fire,
Yeah.
something not, thank
Yeah.
goodness, major. Not like the fires that we had
No,
later
we
on.
didn't have too many major ones.
No.
No.
Uh-huh.
But this old church, this is quite a structure all of its own. And all the renovations that's been made on it.
And with your help.
Yeah.
And with your help. Big help.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when we built the Sunday school rooms. There was no Sunday school. That was a big room. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, our baptismal pool, yeah. Our baptismal pool, you helped.
I didn't build it, but I remember it. It was concrete, and it leaked like a sieve at the ends.
Yes.
And I think your dad made a metal liner for it.
Yes.
But that was, it worked, but he said he didn't like it when it was uneven, like, you know.
Oh, okay.
Sheet metal has wrinkles, I call them. And even when the water was in it, when a person would walk across it when they're getting baptized, you hear the old metal cricket.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, gee. I forgot that, gee.
Yeah. That was something.
Any other good memories you have? Yeah, that we left out? Yeah. Oh, the steeple?
Oh, there's been a lot of people, a lot of nice people that we've had here. Trying to think of when we changed the church around. But we had to be out in the Sunday school rooms for quite a while they...
It had, yeah, I think it was in the 70s, because Mary Lou, I think, was the first person that was married in the new church. Yeah, in the when we rearranged it. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Mrs. Pritchard was she was my Sunday school teacher. Well, do you remember her?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
We bought her car. We bought her car from her old car.
Ah.
My father did. Yeah, you know.
She was a great old woman.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. Nice.
But you enjoyed your privilege of growing up in Laurel Springs, right? Most people.
Oh, yeah. It was a good little country town.
Yeah, that's what everybody
but
says.
now it's losing that. Gradually, it's losing it. Well, people aren't town-minded anymore. It's a place to live, and that's it.
Yeah, they have busy lives or whatever. Yeah.
They come and they go. Same way with the churches. People come for a while and then you don't see them anymore. You know what happened to them,
Right.
where they went.
Our lives are changing, yeah. Sorry, yeah. So anything else you would like to add? It's been great having you. I learned a lot.
Did you?
Yes, I did, yes. Things that I forgot or didn't know about, yes. Yeah.
No, I knew a lot of people that are connected with St. Paul's, like
Cheeseman's.
Roy
Schwab's.
Kane.
Yeah, Roy Kane.
I remember the ball field when they had it down there, and they were in the league, South Jersey League. Roy Kane's father used to go to all the games, and they used to take up a collection so they could buy balls and bats and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And I can remember him going around with a hat. Can you help the fellas out? Can you help the fellas out? He'd go all around the ball field when they get near the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah.
It's a nice memory, yes.
And I remember on Stone Road in the summertime, it would be a horse-drawn wagon come through, and they had watermelons in the back of the wagon.
Oh, goodness.
And they would holler about the watermelons. Watermelons, 50 cents. Watermelons, 50 cents. And then the milk trucks were horse-drawn when I was younger. And we used to run after that because they had ice to keep the milk cold in the wagon. And the guy would chop the ice and fit it in different places, and all of those be chips of ice. So when he'd leave, because they used to have a carrier, and he'd put like a half a dozen bottles in this carrier, and then he'd run into the houses and put them on the porches.
Uh-huh.
As soon as he'd leave the truck, we all run to the truck and grab the ice, and they would suck on the ice.
Gosh, you wouldn't even want to touch that today. And then you just, you could just do that. It's just so cool.
Yep. It's like when they tarred the road. You used to go out and get the tar and roll it into a ball and suck it.
No, really?
To get the tar taste.
And you're all still alive.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I guess the Lord turned his head on that one.
I love it. Oh my, I never heard of that either. See, no. Look at that. I told you had a wealth of information I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was something.
The tar. Oh my goodness. I'll have to. Oh, ice cream store did we have?
The only ice cream store I can remember. Well, I did have one down in Laurel at the paper store. They had ice cream down there. Mm-hmm. And down this way, down where the liquor store is down at the end of Stone Road down here, that was an ice cream store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I'll never forget that. I went in and bought an ice cream cone. And at that day, for a penny more, she'd dip it in a glass of chocolate.
Chocolate? Oh, okay.
And she had done all that for me, and I was proud of my ice cream, and I was walking out, and I got outside. As soon as I got outside, two guys come over. Hey, kid, what you got? I said, ice cream. They said, here, hold it. Let's see it. So I'm holding the ice cream cone to let them see it. They stick a match on each side of the ice cream cone, and I'm holding,
goodness.
And they light the matches.
Oh, no.
And it burned down, and it got to my head, and I naturally let go of it, and the ice cream cone all over. Still I'm standing here, and I'm all upset about it.
You're not
kidding. Well, the lady in the store saw me, and she saw what happened. So she called me in, she gave me a new ice cream.
Was that Mrs. Leopold?
Huh?
Was that Mrs. Leopold?
I don't know.
Yeah. Probably before her, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. How about that? Oh, that was not a, gee. That wasn't a very nice thing to do. And what? I mean, like, the logic of it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, really. 2 matches? I mean.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's another story we didn't know about, see?
Yeah.
Oh, the harmonica band?
Oh, yeah. We had a harmonica band in church. A fellow, he was studying to be a minister. His name was Amara. And he got friendly with me because he used to come here on the weekends, and he went to Bible school during the week. And so he taught me how to play the harmonica. And I used to travel around with him on certain weekends whenever he'd have an engagement, and he'd have an engagement with a church to play. And then he'd speak just a short little thing. And so he got very friendly with me and all, and we would travel around, like I say. And it was quite an experience because we'd go into these churches and they would introduce us, and then we'd play a duet on the harmonicas and all, and then he would, after that, he'd give a little, not a sermon, but a little talk. And we traveled quite a bit, mostly in Pennsylvania. A couple of times we went in South Jersey, down in the farmlands. And
Oh, okay.
went to churches down there. So that was nice and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he became a full-fledged minister, and then that took him out of the picture. So,
It's another nice thing, I'll tell you.
yeah. But I've had a lot of nice experiences.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing them. Yes.
My privilege.
Yes. It was really very good. Thank you very much. Unless you have something else. Think we're doing okay?
Yeah, no, I don't think.
Yeah.
You know of anything that I left out?
Mm-hmm. And where do you see yourself on the DVD? Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Thank you.